Hatton Legion. Last night a loss to the Fargo Bombers 7-6, but the kids rallied back, just ran out of outs, I guess.
Yeah, we really stroked the ball in that last inning. One inning, we gave up 6 runs. We had some, Randy, I thought, pitched well, but there was some bad bounces on his part and a little bleeders, but that's the way the game of baseball goes sometimes.
It's been a tough infield drought, but there's been a lot of crazy hops out there.
Yeah, I'm not pleased with the infield. It's nice. It should be a little nicer than this. It's pretty rough. Enderlin shortstop got hit twice the other night, so get some wicked hops if you're not careful.
A couple of long balls last night. Johnny Thompson still swinging around. Mike Hansen hit a big one.
You betcha. If we keep swinging the bat, get some hits like that tonight, I think if we get 6 runs a day, we should be in pretty good shape. So hopefully that we keep hitting the ball, and behind Corey, we can do well.
Corey should be fairly rested. Hasn't pitched since Thursday.
Corey should be fine. He's only pitched 6 innings total in this tournament. He did have a couple appearances in those 6 innings, but he's pretty fresh. He feels strong. Hopefully we get our typical Corey Plutzik game from him.
You'll face Enderlin, a very fine team. They've had to battle their way back since that game against you on Friday, but they're tough.
Well, they got baseball tradition, too. You have to understand they won the state high school baseball title this year, so we know we don't have an easy game. We know we're going to have to put the ball in play our best defense, and have Corey pitch a fine game, and we should be all right.
I'd say if you go out and play a typical Hatton game, you should be fine.
I hope so. The kids seem to relax. Like I told them last night, I said, remember, you only want to play 1 game on Sunday anyway, and this is it, so let's get it done with and take care of business.
Kind of hard to believe it's all come down to this.
Yeah, as you told me at the beginning of the year that this is where we'd be at this time of the year, I'd have been quite surprised, but everything gelled, the pitching went well, the defense was adequate, and the hitting's been tremendous, so we've been fortunate.
Good luck today, Chad.
Thanks, Dan.
Chad Almdog, coach of the Hatton Legion.
Represent.
Second guest in the pregame show, Kevin Bratland, coach of the Enderlin Legion. Nice ball game, some clutch hitting, some clutch pitching for you guys.
Oh, boy, yeah. I had Brad Lindeman to come up there and pitch. He gave us 4+ innings, and then Seth Jantz, what a tournament he's had. Boy, he's really stepped it up in that hit. He's been Mr. Clutch for us.
Yeah, Brett Lindeman pitched, I thought, a very fine effort, gave you all he had, and that home run was really the only mistake he made.
Right, yeah, he pitched real well. We were real satisfied. Unfortunately, like you said, one mistake, and lucky for him, we were able to come back.
We'll hear some more of the comments from Kevin Bratland a little bit later on here, but right now we are set to get underway. Corey Platzen's first pitch of the game is a fastball outside, ball 1 to Brandon Philmoni. Philmoni, Lindeman, and Severson here for Enderlin in the top of the first inning. Enderlin 33-10, Hatton 30-9 on the season. Fastball high and tight, 2-0 to Philmoni. Philmoni in the tournament has 3 hits and 16 trips, has scored 4, driven in 2. Had 2 hits in the win over the Fargo Bombers, 6-4. There's a strike down the middle, 2-1 now the count. Philmoni, the shortstop, Brett Lindeman, the center fielder, batting second. Sean Severson, the third baseman, in the number 3 hole. The cleanup hitter will be the left fielder, Seth Jans. The 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on and punched into right field for a base hit. So Philmoni, with the leadoff single, gets aboard for the Enderlin Legion. Batting 5th will be the pitcher, Stephen Shaw. The number 6 hitter is the second baseman, Jeremy Swanson. Batting 7th and catching is Tyson Hoy. Eric Kimmer, the first baseman, will hit 8th. The number 9 hitter is the DH, Ryan Archbold, batting for the right fielder, Stuart Doctor. Hatton in the outfield left to right. It's Joe Erickson, Tom Mouse, and David Thompson. Set the infield for you in a moment. Platzen's pitch on the way to Lindeman. Swung on, lifted foul, and out of play on the right side for strike 1. Mike Hansen at first, Curtis Ness at second, Johnny Thompson at third, Randy Cranston at short, Ryan Johnson behind the plate. 1 strike to Brett Lindeman. Lindeman 2 for 16 in the tournament. Has scored 7 runs, driven in the 1. 6 pitch outside, 1-1 the count to Lindeman. He was the starting pitcher against the Fargo Bombers, pitched a very good 4 1/3 innings. 1 on, the leadoff man on here for Enderlin, top of the first. Platzen's 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 now the count to Lindeman. Platzen picked up the win over the Fargo Bombers back on Thursday. Corey, 1 game, 1-0. He made actually 2 appearances in that game. 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, walked 3, and struck out 8. Swings at the next offering and fouls that off. Still 1-2 the count to Lindeman. Platzen on the year is 6-0. He has a 1.99 ERA, 71 strikeouts in 45 2/3 innings of work. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Lindeman goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Platzen. One away now for Enderlin. That'll bring up the third baseman, Sean Severson. Severson, 5 hits and 15 trips in the tournament, has scored 8, driven in 3, has a double and a homer among his 5 hits. He's also stolen 5 bases. Phil Money leads at first. Hansen holds with him. Pladson's first pitch misses high for ball 1. Maybe we have Jim Bossler calling the balls and strikes. Mark Slotsby on the third base side. Next pitch is swung on, popped up, foul territory. First baseman Hansen on the run, makes the catch for out number 2. So Severson fouls out to the first baseman Hansen. 2 down. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Seth Jans. He's having a great tournament. 9 hits and 14 trips. Has scored 7, driven in 11. 2 home runs, building that big grand slam against the Fargo Bombers, which took Enderlin from a 3-2 deficit to a 6-3 lead. He also got the win in relief. Jans has now won 3 games in this tournament on the mound for Enderlin. Takes the first pitch from Platson, high for ball 1. Platson, the left-hander from the stretch. Next pitch, swung on and missed. Runner going down to second. Phil Money, he will steal second. 1-1 the count on the batter, Seth Jans. So a runner at second base now for Enderlin. With 2 outs, glad to have you along on KMAV, AM and FM Mayville, Portland, and KQLX in Lisbon. 1-1 pitch from Platson outside, checking his swing in time is Seth Jans. 2-1 the count to Jans. Waiting on deck, Stephen Shaw. Kevin Brantlin, the head coach for Enderlin, on the third base side. Assistant coach Clay Erdman in the first base coach's box. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. 2-2 the count to Jans. Kim Anderson is the third base umpire. Slotsby on the first base side. Bossler behind the plate. 2-2 pitch swung on. That's hit well to left field, carrying deep way back, and it's going to bounce off the fence. Coming in to score is Phil Money. It'll be a stand-up double for Seth Jans. And it's now a 1-0 lead for Enderlin, an RBI double for Seth Jans. His 10th hit of the tournament, his 12th run batted in. Now, they do award a tournament MVP. I see the trophy sitting behind us, and I would say Seth Jans has got a good stake on that award. It'll bring up the pitcher, Stephen Shaw. Swings at the first pitch, hits a chopper out towards second. Played on a hop there by Neff. Flips it over to Hansen for the out. That'll retire Enderlin here in the top of the first, but the Enderlin Legion comes up with 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Hatton errors, and 1 Enderlin runner left on base. And before I take the break here, it's going to be 90s. I'll let you know, and Mayville and Lisbon. After a half inning of play, it's Enderlin 1, Hatton coming to bat. Well, we go to the bottom of the first for Hatton. They will send up Tom Mouse, Randy Cranston, and Corey Pladson to face Stephen Shaw. Mouse in the tournament, 6 hits and 16 trips, 375 average, driven in 1 as a double. He's walked 3 times. And the first pitch to Mouse on the way. Catches the knees for strike 1. Stephen Shaw picked up a pitching win yesterday, 6 2/3 innings of relief work against Cheyenne New Rockford. Next pitch to Mouse, swung on, ground ball, hit towards second, knocked down out there by Swanson, throws it over to Kemmer at first, just in time for the out. So 1 up and 1 gone for Hatton. Shaw yesterday, the win, 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned, walked nobody and struck out 7. So he pitched very well in relief yesterday, and that win over Cheyenne New Rockford 4-3. Bring up the shortstop, Randy Cranston. Cranston is 7 for 18 in the tournament. 7 runs batted in, 5 scored, 2 doubles. Takes the first pitch down on the dirt for ball 1. Try to bring you a Twins update here when we get it. 1-1 pitch, swung on, lifted high in the air towards right field. First baseman going back, Kemmer, and making the catch is the first baseman, Eric Kemmer, for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Hatton. That'll bring up the pitcher, Corey Pladsen. Pladsen having a good tournament at the plate. He's 8 for 10. Has scored 5, driven in 10, has 2 doubles and a homer among his 8 hits. He's also walked 8 times in this tournament. Swings at the first pitch, and he lines a single into center field. Fielded out there by Brett Lindeman. So a 2-out single to center off the bat of Pladsen, Hatton's first hit in the ball game. And that'll bring up the right fielder, David Thompson. Thompson is 2 for 17, a 118 average. He scored 2, driven in 4, a double and a homer are his 2 hits. Both those hits came on Friday night against Enderlin. One-game championship as Hatton was beaten by the Bombers last night for their first tournament loss. Pitch to Thompson, right back to the mound on a hop, fielded there by Shaw. Fires it over to Kemmer for the out, and that'll retire Hatton. Here in the bottom half of the first inning, Hatton no runs on 1 hit. There were no Enderlin errors, and 1 Hatton runner left on base. 1 complete the score. Enderlin 1, Hatton nothing. First pitch to Jeremy Swanson is lifted foul, backing out of play for 1 strike. Swanson thus far in the tournament, 1 hit and 12 trips, has scored 3 runs, driven in 1. He's walked 5 times. 1-0 Enderlin as we go to the top of the second. Pitch misses inside. 1-1 the count to Swanson. Enderlin a run on 2 hits and no errors. Hatton no runs, 1 hit and no errors. Pladsen okays a sign from Johnson. The 1-1 pitch on the way, high and away. 2-1 the count to Swanson. Tyson Hoy and Eric Kemmer will follow for Enderlin here in the top of the second. Pitch swing and a miss. 2-2 now the count to Swanson. Final game of the season for both teams because you do not advance anymore from the Class B circles. Next pitch swung on. Chopper hit towards short. Fielded by Cranston. Long throw across the diamond to Hansen. Hits away. The runner was there before the throw. That should be an infield hit for Swanson. As he had beat the throw to first base. Yeah, they'll give him the infield hit. That's right. So the third hit of the ball game for Enderlin. That brings up the catcher, Tyson Hoy. Hoy, pretty good tournament going. 7 for 17. He scored 5, driven in 5. Couple of doubles among his hits. Takes the first pitch down low for ball 1. Johnson a throw down to first. Back in safely is Swanson. Pladsen will work out of the stretch. Swanson takes his lead from first. Pitch on the way. Swung on. That's hit towards the left center field gap. It'll be played on the hop out there by Tom Mouse. So back-to-back hits by Hoy and Swanson. Put runners at first and second with nobody out. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Eric Kemmer. Kemmer in the tournament is 0 for 11. Has scored a run. He has walked 6 times. His first tournament hit here would be a big one. Could drive in a run. Shows bunt, pops the bunt up in the air. Johnny Thompson will catch it on the run. He and Pladsen kind of bump into each other, so there won't be a throw, but they get the out. As Kemmer pops out to the third baseman, Johnny Thompson, 1 away. Bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Archbold. Archbold in the tournament, 4 hits and 10 trips, so he's batting .400. Has scored a run, driven in 6, has a double. He's also walked 3 times. Runner at first with 1 out. Pladsen working from the stretch. Actually, runners at first and second with 1 out. First pitch is strike 1 to Archbold. I kind of had a feeling when these two teams met Friday that they would play again today. Next pitch is high. 1-1 now to count to Ryan Archbold. Swanson leads from second. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Curveball goes outside. 2-1 the count to Archbold. Hatton opened up the tournament with a 6-0 win over Cheyenne New Rockford on Wednesday. They beat the Fargo Bombers 15-9 on Thursday. Down Enderlin 21-7 Friday. Lost to the Fargo Bombers 7-6 last night. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Counts even at 2-2 to Archbold. Enderlin opened up with a 10-9 win over Velva. Beat Beulah 12-2 in round 2. Then lost the game to Hatton. Bounced back, beat Cheyenne New Rockford last night 4-3, and beat the Bombers today 6-4. Pitch again fouled off, 2-2 the count. So Enderlin playing their 6th game in the tournament. Hatton their 5th. 2-2 the count on the hitter, Archbold. Plattson's pitch on the way. Swing! And they miss. Ball is dropped, but they can't go to first. It's occupied. With less than 2 outs. Strikeout number 2 for Corey Platson. 2 outs will go to the top of the order, and Brandon Thilmoni singled to start the ball game. Eventually came in to score on a double by Seth Jan, so he's 1 for 1 in this game. Now 4 for 17 in the tournament. Has scored 5 runs. First pitch backs him off the plate for ball 1. 2 on, 2 out for Enderlin. Top of the second. Enderlin leading 1-0. 1-0 pitch on the way. There's a strike. 1-1 the count now to Thilmoni. Nice crowd on hand for this championship game between the Hatton and Enderlin fans. Platson's 1-1 pitch is swung on, lifted foul, and out of play down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Thilmoni. Two on, 2 out. A ball and 2 strikes to count. Platson to the belt. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and dumped into right field for a base hit. Rounding third is Swanson. He'll come in to score. The ball down in the corner. Chased down out there by David Thompson. Also coming to the plate is Tyson Hoy. The throw, and he's out. They cut down the runner at the plate, Tyson Hoy, so it'll be a single and a run batted in for Brandon Thilmoni. And it's now a 2-0 Enderlin lead. Enderlin comes up with 1 run on 3 hits. There were no Hatton errors and 1 runner left on base. Inning and a half. The score is Enderlin 2, Hatton nothing. Well, we go to the bottom of the second. Hatton will send up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Mike Hansen, Scott Krogstad, and Johnny Thompson to face Stephen Shaw. Hansen, the Hatton first baseman, 5 for 16 in the tournament, scored 4, driven in 6. And he swings first pitch, hits one high to left field. That's over the head of the left fielder. Jans, it'll bounce off the wall. Hansen rounding first, digging to second, and he slides. He's into the double. So Hansen jumps on the first offering from Stephen Shaw and hits a double to left. Second hit of the game for Hatton. Hansen's first double. He also has a home run. Hit a 3-run homer last night, which brought Hatton within 7-6 against the Fargo Bombers. Scott Krogstad, the DH, will stand in. Bats for the left fielder, Joe Erickson. Krogstad 3 for 13 in the tournament. Has scored 4, driven in 1. Shaw okays the sign from Hoy. Checks the runner, Hansen down at second. Pitch on the way to Krogstad on the outside corner for strike 1. Krogstad, one of the players here that's playing his last game in a Hatton uniform, as is Mike Hansen, David Thompson, Curtis Ness. Pitch to Krogstad, slow breaking ball, swung on and fouled at the plate. 2 strikes to count to Krogstad. Johnny Thompson waits in the on-deck circle. So 4 of the 10 players, counting the DH and an outfielder, 4 of the 10 in the starting lineup for Hatton playing their last games today. 2 strikes to Krogstad. Hansen leads down at second. Started the inning with a leadoff double. And the 0-2 pitch on the way, curveball outside. Ball and 2 strikes now to count to Krogstad. 2-0 Enderlin with the lead. We're in the bottom of the second. Shaw okays the sign. 1-2 pitch on the way. High. Counts even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Krogstad. Hansen takes a walking lead down at second. Breeze is blowing out towards left this afternoon. Pitch outside. Full count now to Krogstad. Krogstad again stepping out for a moment, now stands back in. And the 3-2 pitch on the way. Down on the dirt, ball 4. Gets away from the catcher, Hoy, but Hansen will stay put at second. So a good at-bat there by Krogstad. Fell behind 1-2, and then he works the walk. First free pass given up by Shaw. Hatton trying to stir something up here in the bottom of the second. Runners at first and second, nobody out. And it'll bring up the third baseman, Johnny Thompson. He has 9 hits and 16 trips, has scored 8, driven in 5, 2 doubles and 2 homers. Batting .563 here at the state tournament. Hit a smash last night. It turned out to be the last out against the Fargo Bombers. Swing and a miss. Big rip by Thompson. Didn't get it. 1 strike the count. Johnny Thompson, younger brother of outfielder David Thompson. Hansen, the runner, down at second base. Krogstad at first. Johnny Thompson shows bunt, bunts it back towards the mound, fielded by Shaw. His only play is to first, flips it to the second baseman Swanson for the out. So Thompson lays down the sacrifice bunt. 1-4 on the putout. Shaw to the second baseman Swanson covering. Hansen now at third, Krogstad down to second. That'll bring up the second baseman Curtis Ness. Ness in the tournament 3 for 11, a .273 average. He scored 2, driven in 3. He has a 3-run homer in tournament play. Hit that against Enderlin back on Friday night. Shaw working from the stretch. Pitch to Ness on the way is outside for ball 1. 1 away, runners at second and third for Hatton, trailing 2-0, bottom of the second. Twins were trailing the Yankees 8-5 in the top of the 8th inning. Pitch in for a strike, counts even a 1-1 to Curtis Ness. Long look in by Shaw. Gets the sign from Hoy. Checks the runners at second and third. 1-1 pitch on the way. Outside. Ooh, that one caught the outside corner. 2-1 the count to Ness. Waiting on deck is Ryan Johnson. Shaw shakes out the first sign. Okay is the second from Hoy. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Misses inside. Counts even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Ness. Shaw's 2-2 pitch on the way. Outside, goes to the screen. Hansen coming down the line. He's going to score on the wild pitch. Hatton gets on the board. It's a 2-1 Enderlin lead. Full count now to the batter, Curtis Ness. So Hatton scoring their first run on the wild pitch. Full count on Ness. Tying run now at third is Krogstad. 3-2 pitch on the way. Called strike 3 as Ness is rung up on strikes. First strikeout for Shaw. As that comes at a big time for him. 2 gone. Bring up the catcher, Ryan Johnson. Johnson hitting .600 in the tournament, 6 for 10. Has scored 7 runs, driven in 3. He's walked a couple of times, also been hit by a pitch. 2-1, Enderlin with the lead. We're in the bottom of the second. Hatton has a tie-in run at third of 2 outs. Pitch to Johnson is high for ball 1. Pitch on the way is outside of the breaking ball. 2-0 now the count to Johnson. Should he reach Tom Mouse as the on-deck hitter? Outside. 3-0 the count to Ryan Johnson. Number 9 hitter in Chad Omdahl's order. Omdahl on the third base side. Dennis Carpenter on the first base side. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike. Johnson taking all the way. 3-1 now the count to Ryan Johnson. And the 3-1 offering on the way. Swung on. Chopper over the mound. Charged by the shortstop. Phil Money is thrown to first to Kemmer in time for the out. Good job of Kemmer keeping his foot on the bag. So Hatton retired here in the bottom of the second, but Hatton comes up with 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Enderlin errors and 1 Hatton runner left on base. 2 complete the score. Enderlin 2, Hatton 1. First pitch to Brett Lindeman misses down low for ball one. Lindeman, Severson, and Jans, 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Enderlin here in the top of the third. Next pitch is outside. 2-0 the count. 2-1, Enderlin with the lead. Cladson's 2-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. 2-1 now the count to Brett Lindeman. Struck out back in the first inning. Now 2 for 17 in the tournament. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Full count now to Lindeman. Pretty good breeze now blowing out towards left field. 3-2 pitch swung on, hit in the air towards center field. Mouse is going to have to play it on the hop out there. So a leadoff single by Brett Lindeman. 6th hit of the ball game for Enderlin. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Sean Severson. Fouled out to Mike Hansen, the first baseman. He is 0 for 1 in this game. 5 for 16 now in the tournament. A little bit of sunshine, a lot of clouds in Dickinson this afternoon. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. 1 strike to Severson. Hansen will hold with the runner Lindeman at first base. Cladson's 0-1 pitch. Swung on, left in the air, right side. That'll get out of play. No balls and 2 strikes now to Severson. On deck is Seth Jans. Lindeman takes his lead. Pitch on the way, high and outside. 1-2 now to Severson. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Severson. Third strikeout for Platson. 1 away. It'll bring up the left fielder, Seth Jans. Cracked an RBI double back in the first inning. So Jans is now 10 for 15 in the tournament, with 12 runs batted in, a double and 2 homers. Big lead at first by Lindeman. Pitch on the way to Jans. Misses down low for ball 1. Jan steps out for a moment, looks down at head coach Kevin Brantlin. Not flashing any signs at this point. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from the catcher Johnson. Now is throw down, and they throw out the runner. Lindeman. Cranston, the shortstop, off balance, took the throw, reached back and tagged down Lindeman. So it'll be 2-6 on the putout on Lindeman. 2 outs, and it's a ball and a strike to count on Jans. Ryan Johnson looks like he's shaken up a little bit. 2 outs now, and the base is empty. 1-1 the count to Jans. He has been Mr. Clutch this weekend, well, all week, as this is the 5th day of the tournament. 1-1 pitch swung on, hit high in the air on the infield. Shortstop Cranston calling for it, takes it for the final out. And that'll retire Enderlin here in the top of the third. They come up with no runs on 1 hit. There were no Hatton errors and no Enderlin runners left on base. 2.5 innings of play. It's still Enderlin 2, Hatton 1. Tom Mouse swings at the first pitch, lifts a fly to left that Seth Jans catches off his shoe tops for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 gone for Hatton. Mouse now 0 for 2. Hit it high to left center field, and Jans a nice catch off the top of his shoes. Bring up the shortstop, Randy Cranston. He's 0 for 1. Popped down to the first baseman, Kemmer. Swings at the first pitch, hammers it towards short. Played on about the third hop by Philmoni. Bobbles it, throws, not in time. That'll be an error on the shortstop, Brandon Philmoni. First error of the ball game, and that allows Cranston to reach. Randy 0 for 2 now in this game, is 7 for 20 in the tournament. Brings up the pitcher, Corey Platson. Platson 1 for 1, single back in the first. He's now 9 for 11 in the tournament. Pitch misses down low. Ball 1 to Platson. Left bats as he throws, left-handed. 2-1 Enderlin. We're in the bottom of the third. Class B Legion Championship game here on KMAV, Mayville, Portland, and KQLX Lisbon. Pitch is swung on, chopped foul towards the Hatton dugout. Ball and a strike to Platson. Cranston at first with one out. David Thompson waits in the on-deck circle for Hatton. Pitch to Platson is inside. 2-1 the count. Kimmer holding with Cranston down at first base. And the 2-1 pitch swung on. That's chopped foul. Counts even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Platson. Stephen Shaw pitching a nice game thus far for Enderlin. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Called strike 3. Platson took it. He's rung up. Second strikeout for Stephen Shaw. 2 down. And that'll bring up the right fielder, David Thompson. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out. Pitcher to first. Back in the first. 2 for 18 now in the tournament for David Thompson. Cranston at first with 2 outs. Shaw's pitch on the way is outside. Ball 1. Shaw working from the stretch. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on, ripped but fouled on the left field line. A ball and a strike to count to David Thompson. Shaw to the belt, checks Cranston at first, throw over and back in safely is Cranston. Shaw shakes out the first sign from Hoy, okays the second. 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, that's fouled straight back. Down below us here in the press box. 1-2 now the count to David Thompson. If he can get on, Mike Hansen is the on-deck hitter. 1-2 pitch on the way, swung and a foul. Thompson stays alive. Cranston off the pitch. He'll return to first. Still a ball and 2 strikes to count to David Thompson. Hoy hangs down the side. Shaw leans in, okays it, takes a look at Cranston at first. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Thompson goes down on strikes. Third strikeout for Stephen Shaw. And that'll retire Hatton here in the bottom of the third. Hatton, no runs and no hits. There was 1 Enderlin error and 1 Hatton runner left on base. 3 innings complete. The score is Enderlin 2, Hatton 1. Corey Pladson's first pitch swung on, bounced off his leg, played on a hop out there by Curtis Ness, flips it to Hansen for the out to get Stephen Shaw. So that'll be a 1-4-3 put out as it bounced off Pladson. Right to Curtis Ness at second, over to Hansen at first for the out. 1 up and 1 gone. Shaw now 0 for 2. It'll bring up the number 6 hitter, Jeremy Swenson. Single, got an infield hit back in the second. Eventually came around to score on a base hit by Brandon Philmoney. So he's 1 for 1 in this game. Swanson, I think I said Swenson. It's Swanson. Swings at the first pitch, listed foul and out of play. 1 strike. Swanson is now 2 for 13 in tournament action. Got a good one going here in the title. 2-1. Enderlin with the lead. We're in the top of the fourth. 1 strike pitch in the way. Catches the outside corner. 0-2 the count to Swanson. Pladson shakes off the first sign from Johnson. Okays the second. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Swanson. 4th strikeout for Corey Pladson. 2 down. That'll bring up the catcher, Tyson Hoy. He singled back in the second. Was cut down at the plate trying to score on that base hit by Philmoney down on the right field corner. So Hoy 1 for 1 in this game. He is now 8 for 18 in the tournament. Takes a pitch high, ball 1. So he's had a nice tournament out of the number 7 spot in the order for Enderlin. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball down low. 2-0 the count to Hoy. 2 out, nobody on. Top of the 4th inning. The 2-0 pitch is outside. 3-0 to Hoy. Waiting on deck is Eric Kimmer. Pitch misses high, ball 4. So Hoy walks on 4 straight pitches. First walk given up by Pladsen. That'll bring up the first baseman, Eric Kimmer, popped to third, back in the first, back in the second, 0 for 1 in this game. Kimmer 0 for 12 in the tournament. Hansen will hold with Hoy at first base. Pladsen will work out of the stretch. Pitch to Kimmer is in for strike 1. Pladsen to the set, and the 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Ball hops away from the catcher, Johnson. That'll be a pass ball, allowing Hoy to get to second. No balls and 2 strikes to count on Kimmer. Two strikes the count to Eric Kimmer. Tyson Hoy, the runner at second, of 2 gone. And the 0-2 pitch on the way just misses outside. 1-2 the count to Kimmer. Should Kimmer reach, Ryan Archbold waits on deck. Pladsen's 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 as he dropped the curveball in. 5th strikeout for Pladsen. And that retires Enderlin here in the top of the 4th. They come up with no runs and no hits. There were no Hatton errors. 1 Enderlin runner left down base. We're at the halfway point, 3.5. It's still Enderlin 2, Hatton 1. Well, as we go to the bottom of the 4th, here's a few more of those pregame comments we had from Kevin Brantlin we didn't have a chance to get to.
And he struck the guy out to end the game. Yeah, I was real happy to see Sean do that. He's had kind of a couple rough outings here. You know, he needed that.
You know, we talked about Seth before the last game in his clutch inning. I thought maybe we jinxed him, but he got the big hit when you needed it.
Yeah, he had some chances before with runners on, but boy, he really came through there.
That was that grand slam home run that we were talking about by chance. First pitch to Mike Hansen. That is high for ball 1. Hansen doubled and scored Hatton's only run back in the 2nd inning. So he is 1 for 1 in this ball game. Swings to the next pitch, hits it high in the air to left field, but it looks like it's going to stay in the park. Waiting for it to come down is Jans. He'll take it for the out. So Hansen gone on a high fly to left field. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Scott Krogstad. He walked in the first. So Krogstad officially has not been to the plate. He is 3 for 13 in the tournament. Stephen Shaw into the windup pitch on the way to Krogstad. Misses outside for ball 1. Shaw's 1-0 pitch on the way. High. 2 balls and no strikes now to Krogstad. On deck is Johnny Thompson. 2-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th. Twins trailing the Yankees 8-5 in the top of the 9th. That one's down in the dirt. 3-0 now to Krogstad. Scott has drawn 4 free passes thus far in the tournament. And the 3-0 pitch on the way. It's high, ball 4. So Krogstad walks for the 2nd time on 4 straight pitches. Last time was on a 3-2 pitch. Bring up the third baseman, Johnny Thompson. He laid down a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd, so he officially has not been at the plate. Thompson 9 for 16 in the tournament. First pitch to Thompson misses high for ball 1, so that's 5 straight out of the strike zone by Stephen Shaw. Hatton with the tying run on here in the bottom of the 4th. Shaw has held Hatton to just 2 hits thus far. 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on, that's hit high in the air, down the left field line. The shortstop, Phil Money, makes the catch in foul territory for the out. Nice catch by the shortstop, Brandon Philmoney, 2 down. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Curtis Ness. Ness struck out in the 2nd, got caught looking. 1 of 3 strikeouts by Shaw so far. 2 outs. Krogstad, the runner at first. Pitch to Ness on the inside corner for strike 1. One strike pitch on the way. High. Counts even a 1-1 now to Ness. 2 outs. Krogstad, the runner at first. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on. Ground ball. Past both a diving third baseman Severson and the shortstop Philmoni. That'll be a base hit into left field for Curtis Ness. Third hit of the ball game for the Hatton Legion. And runners at first and second now for the catcher Ryan Johnson. Johnson 0 for 1, grounded out back in the second. 6 for 11 now in tournament action for Ryan Johnson. So Hatton now has the potential tying run down at second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Shaw working from the stretch. Pitch on the way to Johnson is outside for ball 1. Shaw long looking at the catcher Hoy. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a chopper hit down the third baseline right at the bag. Making the play is Severson, and he steps on third base to force out Scott Krogstad. So Hatton threatens but fails to score here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs on 1 hit. No Enderlin errors and 2 Hatton runners left on base. 4 innings in the books now. The score remains Enderlin 2, Hatton 1. Well, as we wait for catcher Ryan Johnson to come out, a few more comments that we have left from Kevin Brantlin. We just, last time we heard, talked about Seth Jans' grand slam home run.
This was a game where I guess it really tested the character of your kids, and they responded very well.
Yeah, it did. You know, Luther's throwing some great ball games, and he was really on today there. But like I said, he made one mistake too, and Seth jumped on it. But no, our guys hung in there. You know, they've done that all year. They've been in some big games and been behind too, but gosh, they've never folded up.
Come back now, you play Hatton. It's a one-game season right here.
Yeah, it is. It's all or nothing right now. You know, little aches and pains. You got to suck it up for one more game because you got all year to rest.
Kevin Brantlin, the head coach of the Enderlin Legion, on some of his pregame comments when we talked to him. Ryan Archbold stands in, takes the first pitch for strike 1 from Corey Platson. 9, 1, and 2 hitters, Archbold, Philmoni, and Lindemann to face Platson here in the top of the 5th. The 1-strike pitch in the way is outside, 1-1 the count. Enderlin, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Hatton, a run on 3 hits and no errors. The 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, pop foul, backing out of play. A ball and 2 strikes to count to Archbold. Struck out back in the second. 1 of 5 strikeouts thus far by Platson. Archbold now 4 for 11 in the state tournament. And the 1-2 pitch, swing, and the foul tip. Archbold just got a piece of it. And he picks up the ball and throws it back to Corey Platson out at the mound. The catcher and the umpire were looking for it, and Ryan Archbold said, oh, here it is, I'll throw it out. Now we get a new ball put in play. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Ryan Archbold. Platson's 1-2 pitch on the way. That's fouled back. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Brandon Philmoni waits in the on-deck circle for Enderlin. And tomahawk down the left field line, but foul on the swing by Archbold. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Archbold hanging tough up there. Platson's 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Down on strikes goes Archbold. 6 strikeouts now for Platson. Go around to the top of the order, and Brandon Philmoni. Philmoni 2 for 2 in this game. A run scored and a run batted in. He's now 5 for 18. Swung a pretty good bat in today's games after a slow start in the tournament. Takes a high fastball for ball 1. 1-0 pitch on the way. And at the knees for a strike. Counts even a 1-1 to Philmoni. Enderlin won the high school title this past spring. I'm sure they'd want to try to pick up the Legion crown here. Swinging and a miss. 1-2 now the count to Brandon Philmoney. 1-0, nobody on for Enderlin. Top of the fifth, they lead 2-1. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball, hammered to short, put on a hop out there by Cranston, guns it across to Hanson for the out. 2 up and 2 down for Enderlin in the fifth inning. That'll bring up the center fielder, Brett Lindeman. He is 1 for 2, struck out in the first, single back in the third inning. Thrown out trying to advance down to second base. 3 hits now in 18 trips for Lindeman. Plattson's first pitch, pours it down the middle for strike 1. There's some sunshine now here at Southside Municipal Ballpark. 0-1 pitch on the way. That's lifted in the air to right field. David Thompson comes in a step and takes it for the out. So Enderlin goes down in order, 1-2-3 here in the top of the fifth. 4.5 innings of play. The score, Enderlin 2, Hatton 1. Tom Miles swings at the first pitch, hits one deep into left center field. That's going to roll to the fence. Miles pulls up at second. He'll stop there with a leadoff double. So Tom Miles gets things going with a leadoff double for Hatton here in the bottom of the fifth. That'll put the tie-in run at second now with nobody out. And it'll bring up the shortstop, Randy Cranston. Cranston is 0 for 2, has popped out and reached on an error. I believe this could be Shaw's last inning. He went 6 2/3 yesterday. Now, if they do count thirds, you'd have a third of an inning left after this inning. Cranston swings, hits one high in the air to right field. Right fielder Stuart Doctor on the run makes the catch over by the foul line for out number 1. So 1 away, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Corey Platson. Platson is 1 for 2, single in the first, struck out in the second. 9 for 12 in the state tournament for Corey Platson. And they're going to intentionally walk Platson here with first base open. This will be the 9th walk that Platson has got in the state tournament. Be the 3rd walk given up by Shaw, this one intentionally. Enderlin feeling they'd rather take their chances with David Thompson, who is 0 for 2 and 2 for 19 in the tournament. So a free pass for Platson. That puts runners at first and second with 1 away. Thompson in this ball game 0 for 2, as I mentioned, 2 for 19 in the tournament, a double and a home run. Mouse down at second, Platson aboard at first. Derek Kimmer, the first baseman, playing in on the grass. Thompson swings the first pitch, and that's headed towards the right center field gap. That's going to fall in and go all the way to the fence. Mouse will come in to score. That'll tie the game. Platson being waved in. And going to third is David Thompson. Here comes the throw, the slide. He's into the triple. So a 2-run triple off the bat of David Thompson, and that time the intentional walk backfired, and Hatton has the lead at 3-2. 3 hits in the tournament for David Thompson. They're all extra bases. That'll bring up first baseman Mike Hansen. So for the first time today, Hatton has the lead. Hansen is 1 for 2, doubled and scored in the second, a fly to left back in the fourth. Takes the first pitch in for strike 1. Mouse and Platson come in on the triple by Thompson. Pitch is swung on. That's going to fall into left field for a base hit. David Thompson can walk in. It's now a 4-2 Hatton lead as Mike Hansen delivers his second hit of the ball game. He'll be the runner at first with 1 out. Hansen just dropped that one into left field, reached out and slapped it out there. So Mike now with a 2 for 3 day. He is 7 for 19 in the tournament. Brings up Scott Croxted, the DH. He bats for the left fielder, Joe Erickson. Croxted has walked twice today, so officially has not been to the plate. 4-2, Hatton with the lead. Hits are now even at 6 apiece. Hansen gets his lead at first. Kemmer holds with him. Pitch to Croxted, swing and a miss, 1 strike to count. 3 runs in for Hatton here in the home half of the 5th. 0-1 pitch on the way. That one bounces in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, Hoy. Wild pitch will move Hansen down to 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on. That's hit in the air towards left center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Hansen will be held at third. Croxted a big turn at first. He'll hold on there. Runners at the corners. And that's going to bring Kevin Brantlin out of the Enderlin dugout. Well, he told us he would be pitching by committee today. And the entire infield gathering at the mound. We will get a pitching change here. Looks like Sean Severson will come on to pitch here. Breaking the action. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The pitching change for Enderlin. Hatton has scored 3 runs to take a 4-2 lead. They have runners on the corners and 1 out. We're back in 90 seconds. It's Seth Jans, the new pitcher. His first pitch to Johnny Thompson is outside for ball 1. So Shaw goes to third. Severson out to left field, and Jan's the new pitcher. He has won 3 games in this tournament. Pitch to Thompson, breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1 the count. Not a bad effort by Shaw. 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs are all earned at this point. The 2 on are his responsibility. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a couple of wild pitches. Pitch to Jan, swung on, ground ball, hit towards short. Thilmoni up with it, throw to the plate, and Hansen trying to jump over the catcher is tagged out by Tyson Hoy. So they had the contact play on that time as Hansen broke as soon as the ball hit the bat. Thompson will reach on the fielder's choice. 5-2. Shaw to Hoy for the put out at the plate to cut down Hansen. Moving to second base was Croxted. Brings up second baseman Curtis Ness. Ness is 1 for 2, struck out and singled. 4 for 13 in the tournament for Curtis Ness. 4-2, Hatton with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Jans' pitch on the way. In for strike 1. Let's see. Seth Jans appeared in 3 games. He's won 3 and lost none. 9 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1.56 ERA, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. He got the win over the Fargo Bombers earlier today, 6-4. Ness grounds one towards second. Swanson up with it, flips it over to Kemmer in time for the out. So Jans comes in and does his job. For Hatton, though, in the bottom of the 5th, they come up with 3 runs. On 4 hits, there were no Enderlin errors and 2 runners left on base. The big hit was a 2-run triple by David Thompson. We've played 5 full. The score now is Hatton 4, Enderlin 2. Well, we go to the top of the 6th. Hatton now leading 4-2. Hatton 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Enderlin 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Severson, Jans, and Shaw for Enderlin here in the top of the 6th. Severson is 0 for 2, is fouled out and struck out. Pladson's first pitch misses inside for ball 1. Sean Severson, 5 for 17 in tournament play. Breaking ball from Pladson is in for a strike. Counts even a 1-1. We saw some good ball games yesterday and today. We had a few that got a little out of hand on Friday. Pitch is chopped, foul play. That came up and caught Severson in the face. It got him on the jaw on the right side, and he's going to walk that off. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Severson. Home plate umpire Jimmy Bossler checking with him to make sure he's all right. Everybody was kind of smiling as they walked away, so I guess everything's okay. Seth Jans waiting on deck. Ball and 2 strikes to count to Severson. Pladson's 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball that missed inside. 2-2 the count. Like that time, Pladsen was trying to blow one by Severson, but he missed inside. Next pitch is swung on, ground ball, backhanded by Ness, turns, makes the throw to Hansen in time for the out. Nice play by Curtis Ness. And he has had a bunch of them here at the state tournament. One up and one gone for Enderlin in the 6th inning. That'll bring up the left fielder, Seth Jans. Jans is 1 for 2, an RBI double in the first, popped to short in the third. Jans, 10 hits and 16 trips and 12 runs batted in this tournament. And now pitching. Yeah, started the game in left field, now the pitcher. It's won 3 games on the mound. He has had quite a tournament. Swing and a miss at the first offering. Strike 1 the count. Jan steps out for a moment, now stands back in. The 0-1 pitch on the way, swung on, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Played on the hop out in center field by Tom Mouse, the 11th hit of the tournament for Jans. So 1-out single. That is the 7th hit of the ball game for Enderlin. Brings up the third baseman, Stephen Shaw. Shaw is 0 for 2, a couple of groundouts. He was the starting pitcher, went the first 4 and a third. Did not pitch all that badly. Shaw with 2 hits and 17 trips. Jans runner at first. Hansen holds with him. Pitch swung on and missed. 1 strike the count. For the top of the 6th, 4-2 the score. Hatton with the lead. Enderlin had jumped out to a 2-0 lead after an inning and a half. Next pitch swung on, hit in the air to right field. David Thompson on the run. He won't get to it. He'll play it on the hop. And that'll put runners at first and second with 1 out. So Shaw went with the pitch and dropped it into right field. Down to second base goes Jans. So the tying runs are on now for Enderlin. Brings up the second baseman, Jeremy Swanson. Swanson is 1 for 2, an infield hit in the second and scored a run, struck out in the fourth. 2 for 14 in the tournament for Jeremy Swanson. First pitch, swing and a miss, 1 strike the count. Couple of towns here have a lot of baseball tradition. Hatton and Enderlin squaring off. There's a strike at the knees, 0-2 the count to Jeremy Swanson. Ryan Johnson hangs down the sign. Pladsen checks the runner at second. The pitch outside, 1-2 the count to Swanson. On deck is Tyson Hoy. Pladsen shakes off Johnson's first sign. Okay, it's the second. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on. Chopper hit towards second. Played by Ness. Flips it to Cranston for 1. The relay to first. No, they won't make a relay. As Cranston realized he wouldn't have had time, just wisely held onto the ball. Swanson will reach on the fielder's choice. 4-6 on the force out. Ness to Cranston to get Shaw down at second. Moving to third on the play with Seth Jans. So runners at the corners of 2 outs to bring up the catcher, Tyson Hoy. Hoy's 1 for 1. He singled in the second, walked in the fourth. He's had a nice tournament, 8 hits in 18 trips. Takes the first pitch from Pladsen for strike 1. Tying run, potential tying run at first base for Enderlin with 2 outs. 1 pitch on the way. Changeup goes high. 1-1 the count to Hoy. 15th game of this tournament. 15th and final game right here. Pladsen now steps off the rubber. And going back to third is Jans. Pitch is grounded to first. That gets past Hansen, fielded by Ness. He'll flip to Pladsen in time for the out. Good alert play by Curtis Ness and a good job of covering the bag by Pladsen. 4-1, the second baseman Ness to the pitcher Pladsen covering, and that retires Enderlin. Here in the top of the 6th, as their threat goes by the board, no runs on 2 hits. There were no Hatton errors and 2 Enderlin runners left on base. 5.5 innings of play. The score, Hatton 4, Enderlin 2. We're going to have a pinch hitter. Mitch Voller will bat for the catcher, Ryan Johnson, on the re-entry rule. Then we'll go around to the top of the order. Tom Mouse and Randy Cranston. Johnson was 0 for 2, a ground out, and then bounced into a fielder's choice. Voller in the tournament is 1 for 1. Scored a run. He's also a walked one. He is another Hatton player making his last appearance in a Hatton uniform today. So Voller will bat for the catcher, Ryan Johnson, here in the bottom of the 6th. Jans' first pitch is down low for ball 1. Yankees beat the Twins this afternoon, 9-6. Fourth game of that series will be tomorrow, one of those strange Friday through Monday series. Yankees have now taken 2 out of 3 from the Twins. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count to Voller. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball outside. 2-1 now the count to Voller. Tom Mouse waits in the on-deck circle. Pitch is high and tight, leans Voller back. 3-1 the count to Voller. Seth Jans, second pitcher used here by Enderlin. The outfield now left to right. It's Severson, Lindemann, and Doctor. Kemmer at first, Swanson at second, Shaw at third, Philmoney at short, Hoy behind the plate. 3-1 pitch is inside, ball 4. Voller gets the leadoff walk. First walk given up by Seth Jans. Now Ryan Johnson will come back in and run for Mitch Voller. Go to the top of the order, and Tom Mouse. Mouse 1 for 3, doubled back in the 5th inning. Eventually came around to score on the triple by David Thompson. 7 for 19 in the tournament for Tom Mouse. He scored 8 runs, 2 doubles among his 7 hits. Squares to bunt, drops down a good bunt fielded by the pitcher. The throw to first, just in time to nip the speedy Tom Mouse, but he gets the sacrifice. 1-3 on the putout. Jans to Kemmer. Going down to second, Ryan Johnson. Bring up Randy Cranston. Cranston is 0 for 3, has reached on an error. 7 for 21 now for Cranston in the tournament. I'm sure Hatton would like to pick up some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Cranston, misses high for ball 1. 4-2 Hatton. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Runner at second base with 1 out. That's Ryan Johnson. Voller batted for Johnson. Walked, and then Johnson re-entered to run for Voller. Pitch to Cranston, lifted high in the air down the right field line. The first baseman, Kemmer, giving chase, and he can't quite catch up to it. Ball and a strike now the count to Cranston. Waiting on deck is Corey Pladsen. One ball, 1 strike to Randy Cranston. Johnson leads down at second. 1 out here in the 6th. And the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Cranston. Hoy will hang down the side in a moment here for Jans as he steps off the rover for a moment. Now leans in. Now Cranston will step out. Jans gets a sign from Hoy. Checks on the runner, Johnson down at second. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, ground ball, hit towards short. Fielded there by Philmoney. Throw across the diamond to Kemmer for the out. Moving to third on the play is Johnson. 2 down, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Corey Pladsen. He is 1 for 2. His singled, struck out, was intentionally walked. He scored a run. Pladsen 1 for 2 today is 9 for 12 in the tournament. Jans has pitched to Pladsen on the way, misses outside, ball 1. Johnson inches up the line at third of 2 outs. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit high and deep to right field. Is it fair or foul? It's gone. A home run. Pladsen hit that one well out of the ballpark down the right field line, and it's now a 6-2 Hatton lead for Corey Pladsen, his second homer of the tournament, 19th of the season. He now has 12 RBIs in the tournament, and that's his 10th hit. That one is ripped out of here by Corey Pladsen, and it's a 6-2 Hatton lead. Ryan Johnson comes in to score in front of him. Brings up David Thompson. He had that big 2-run triple back in the 5th that put Hatton in front 3-2. First pitch goes behind him to the screen. Ball 1. David Thompson 1 for 3 today on a 2-run triple. 3 for 20 in the tournament, but all 3 hits have been big ones. A double, a triple, and a homer. 6 RBI. Jans into the windup. 1-0 pitch to Thompson on the way. Swung on. That's ripped into left field, and that's going to find the gap and roll to the fence. Thompson around first, digging for second, and he'll pull up there up a stand-up double. So he's at second base with 2 outs. Second hit of the inning, 9th in the ball game for the Hatton Legion. And that brings Mike Hansen to the plate. Hansen is 2 for 3, has doubled and singled, scored a run, driven in a run. Thompson takes his lead down at second. First pitch to Hansen on the outside corner for strike 1. Seven for 19 in the tournament for Mike Hansen. Next pitch swung on and fouled straight back. No balls, 2 strikes now the count to Hansen, the Hatton first baseman. Hansen was the winning pitcher back in that was the Friday night game against Enderlin. Right. 2-strike pitch, bounces down on the dirt, and that's going to move David Thompson down to third. Hoy's thrown out in time. So the wild pitch will move into third. A ball and 2 strikes to count to Hansen. 6-2 Hatton with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jans into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Hansen goes down on strikes, and that is the first strikeout for Steph Jans. And retires Hatton here in the bottom of the 6th, but Hatton comes up with 2 runs on 2 hits. The big blow, a 2-run homer off the bat of Corey Pladsen. There were no Enderlin errors, and 1 Hatton runner left on base. 6 complete. The score, Hatton 6, Enderlin 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Eric Kemmer as he leads things off for Enderlin here in the top of the 7th. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Kemmer is 0 for 2 in this ball game. Has popped out and struck out, looking for his first hit in the tournament. Eric is 0 for 13. Next pitch is high, 1-2 the count. And home run by Pladsen that he hit bottom of the 6th, his 19th of the season. 1-2 the count to Eric Kemmer. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Kemmer down on strikes. 7 strikeouts now for Pladsen. 1 up and 1 gone for Enderlin here in the top of the 7th. They trail it by 4. Bring up the number 9 hitter, the DH, Ryan Archbold. He's 0 for 2. Has struck out twice. 4 for 12 in the tournament for Archbold. Pladsen's pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 strike the count to Archbold. The 0-1 pitch on the way. That one will go to the screen. Counts even at 1-1. Brandon Thilmoney waiting in the on-deck circle. Well, we saw Enderlin battle back earlier today to to beat the Fargo Bombers 6-4. They battled back yesterday to beat Cheyenne New Rockford 4-3, and they need to battle back one more time. 1-1 pitch on the way. Called strike 2. That one caught the inside corner. 1-2 now. The count to Archbold. And the 1-2 pitch on the way high. Counts even at 2-2. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 7th. Plattson's 2-2 pitch high. Full count now to Archbold. Well, Enderlin needs runners. They're not going to care if they walk, get base hits. However they get on, they'll take them. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Archbold goes down on strikes. 8 strikeouts now for Platson. 2 down, and Enderlin down to their last out in the top of the order, Brandon Philmoni. Philmoni 2 for 3, a couple of singles, scored a run, driven in a run. He's also grounded out. He's 5 for 19 in the tournament. First pitch, misses high, ball 1. Next pitch, swung on, chopper. That's going to get into left field for a base hit. So Philmoni gets his 3rd hit of the ball game. That keeps Enderlin alive. And we'll bring up the center fielder, Brett Lindemann. Lindemann is 1 for 3. Single back in the 3rd. 3 hits and 19 trips for Lindemann. Philmoni at first. Hansen will hold with him. 2 outs. Cladson will work out of the stretch. Pitch to Lindemann, misses high for ball 1. Next pitch is high. 2-0 the count to Lindemann. And the 2-0 pitch. That's in for a strike. 2-1 now the count to Lindemann. If he can reach Sean Severson as the on-deck hitter. The 2-1 pitch high. 3-1 the count to Lindemann. Philmoni at first of 2 outs. 6-2 Hatton leading here in the top of the 7th. Johnson hangs down the sign for Platson. 3-1 pitch on the way. Fastball catches the outside corner. Full count now to Brett Lindemann. Enderlin down to its last strike. Philmoni leads at first. Nobody holding with him. He takes off. 3-2 pitch. Grounded back. No, it's the liner in the air. Caught by Platson, and that's the ball game. So Hatton will claim the State Class B Legion Championship for Enderlin here in the top of the 7th. No runs on 1 hit. There were no Hatton errors and 1 runner left on base. The final score, Hatton 6, Enderlin 2. We're back with our postgame show in 2 minutes. Well, the final here for the State Class B Legion Championship, 6-2. Hatton defeats Enderlin. And I'm trying to see if we can get the attention of Chad Amdahl. They're going to have a award ceremony here before we will do that, I would guess. Here's how the line score goes. Hatton comes up with 6 runs on 9 hits and no errors. They stranded 8. Enderlin 2 runs, 9 hits and 1 error. They left 6 runners on base. Enderlin jumped off to a 1-0 lead in the top of the 1st. Brandon Philmoni led off with a single. Then with 2 outs, Seth Jans doubled him in. Enderlin would stretch it to 2-0 in the top of the 2nd. A leadoff hit by Jeremy Swanson. He was later singled in by Brandon Philmoni, made it 2-0. Hatton came back, put a run on the board in the 2nd. Mike Hansen led off with a double. He came in to score on a wild pitch, and it was 2-1. That's the way things stood until the 5th inning. In the 5th, Tom Mouse led off with a double. Randy Cranston then was retired on a fly to right. They intentionally walked Corey Pladson to get to David Thompson. He delivered a 2-run triple to make it 3-2 Hatton. Then Mike Hansen singled in Thompson to make it a 4-2 Hatton lead. Hatton would close out the scoring in the 6th inning. A leadoff walk to Mitch Bowler. Ryan Johnson then came in to run for him. Tom Mouse sacrificed Johnson down to 2nd. Randy Cranston ground out, moved the run to 3rd, and then Corey Platson hit a mammoth homer to right to make it 6-2. We'll We'll come back. We'll take a look at the pitching numbers right after we take a 1-minute timeout. Well, they have just announced the tournament MVP, and that award goes to Corey Pladsen of Hatton. Well-deserved, though. I tell you, Seth Jans of Enderlin had a great tournament. I think if Enderlin would have won it, Jans would have probably been the tournament MVP. Pladsen picks up 2 wins on the mound in this tournament at the plate. I'm looking here. Corey Pladsen had 10 hits. Let's see. Today, Corey at the plate was 2 for 3. So he finished up 10 for 13 with 12 runs batted in, 2 doubles and 2 homers. They also walked 9 times in the tournament. So Corey Pladsen, the tournament MVP. Pladsen, the winning pitcher here this afternoon, finishes the season a perfect 7-0. Went the distance, 9 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, walked 1 and struck out 8. For Enderlin, Steve Shaw, the starter and the loser, 4 in the 3rd inning, 7 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. Walked 3, struck out 3, and 2 wild pitches. Seth Jans, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Hatton, the champs, finishes the season with a 31-9 record. Enderlin, the runners-up, great season, too. They were 33-11. Time now for our Player of the Game selection, which is brought to you by Hatton Ford Lisbon. This is a 30-second timeout. We'll be back to make our choice of the Player of the Game right after this from Hatton Ford. Player of the game for the victorious Hatton Flyers here this afternoon. I'm going to go with Corey Pladsen. He was the tournament MVP, and he was the winning pitcher today. He was 2 for 3 at that 2-run homer, which was kind of icing on the cake. But 2 for 3 at the plate today, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, winning pitcher. Went the distance, a little shaky to start, but he really settled down and got in the groove for the final 5 innings of the game as he wins his 7th game of the year. He struck out 8, walked just 1. So Corey Pladsen, the player of the game for the Hatton Legion here this afternoon. 6-2 the final, Hatton with the win. I'm trying to see if we can get the attention of Chad Amdahl, the Hatton coach. We'll come back and we'll continue with more right after we take a 2-minute timeout. Welcome back here to Dickinson, and we got a messenger. Actually, Mary Cleveland is going to see if she can ride up Chad Amdahl and Corey Pladsen for us. Of course, all the fans down congratulating all the players, and a lot of cameras and pictures being taken. Great season for both these teams. Enderlin won the high school title and came, within a game of claiming double championships in baseball, but a real fine Enderlin club. Battled back a couple of times here in this tournament. Got to the championship game, but came up short here, 6-2. And the Hatton Legion, quite a season for them. They made it to the state high school tournament. They finished 4th there this spring, and they take the Legion championship for Class B. Now, there is no advancement after this for the Class B State Legion champions, so you end the year as a champion, winning the state tournament. Again, we are trying to get some of these folks brought up our way here. As you expect, a lot going on down the field, and Chad Amdahl, Corey Pladsen making their way. We'll come back. We'll interview those two right after we take a 1-minute timeout. We'll let Corey get on here first. Let Corey grab the headset here. Corey Pladsen with us, and first off, congratulations, Corey.
Thanks.
State championship, the MVP award, kind of your day there today.
Yeah, we played pretty well. We started off on wrong foot, them scoring 2 runs, and we weren't hitting the ball, but we came back at the end, and that's what counts.
I was going to say, the first couple innings were kind of tense out there, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I wasn't feeling so great on the mound, but things started getting better, so.
Came back, got some runs. Did that make you feel a little better out there, relax a little bit?
Yeah, it was getting a little tense when we were scoring runs, but then we started scoring runs, and I got relaxed and started throwing a little bit better.
They walked you that one inning to get to David Thompson, and David kind of made them pay.
Yeah, that was a big hit by David. That got us going right there.
And you came back later, hit the 2-run homer, and hit that one pretty well.
Yeah, I haven't been really hitting the ball well today. I struck out, but just got lucky on that hit and got a couple more runs.
Yeah, there were some nice defensive plays behind you by your teammates. Curtis Ness at second made some fine plays.
Curtis has been doing a great job all year long. He deserves a lot of credit. He makes the big plays when they count.
Corey, this has got to feel pretty good, huh? You win the Legion championship here. You got to state and high school, and you got a year left.
Yeah, we'll hopefully be back here next year.
Corey, I'm going to let you get back to your family and friends down there, but congratulations.
Thanks.
Corey Pladsen, the tournament MVP, and also the winning pitcher here today as Hatton comes up with a 6-2 win. in the state championship game. We'll grab Chad Amdahl here in just a moment. Okay. We'll let Chad grab the headset here. You got a little wet there, Coach.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
I think it was Mike Ness I saw there in the top of the 7th behind the dugout with that water cooler, and I thought maybe there was some water coming.
Well, I'm glad there was. That means we won. What a great effort. I tell you what, people don't know, but if you look on the scoreboard at the end of the game, we had no errors.
Mm-hmm.
We played stellar defense today, and that was what won it for us besides Corey's great pitching.
That's what I was talking to Corey about. Everybody chipped in, but boy, Curtis Ness had some nice plays at second base.
He's done the job all year for us. He's whatever he contributes with his bat is extra. We want him out there for his defense, and he showed his senior leadership today.
Corey today got off to kind of a shaky start, but he sure settled down after you guys got those runs back.
Well, like he said, he wasn't in tip-top shape today. His lower back was tight yet. I think his arm had a little pain, but he pitched with some guts and some determination and did a wonderful job for us.
He got the tournament MVP, and deserving, I think, but, you could give it to the whole team. All those kids had a great tournament here.
As far as I'm concerned, all our kids are MVPs. Just some have to stand out a little bit more than others and have to pick somebody, but Corey will be the first to tell you that he's glad that he's got his teammates with him.
It'll kind of feel tough. You don't have to get up tomorrow and have practice.
Well, actually, it is. We're going to get up and we're taking off today, and we're going to stay in Bismarck overnight and try to reach home tomorrow about 6 o'clock.
I was going to say, you're going to have a welcome home here. The meet at, the 8 Mile corner south of town at about 6 tomorrow?
That's what we hope to be there for a caravan or whatever, so that'll be at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, their time, or our time, whatever you want to put it, at 8 miles south of town.
Yeah, you've been living for a week here in this mountain time zone. You're probably getting used to that now.
I'll tell you what, I'll probably be staying up late at home, and I'm not used to it. Usually about 11, it'll probably be 12 or 1 now.
Got Mitch Voller in there, and I believe, is there 5 kids that graduate now off this team?
There's 5 kids. There's Curtis Ness, Mike Hansen, Mitch Voller, Scott Krogstad, and David Thompson. They've been wonderful. What leaders. Mitch was a starter on the high school team. This team, he was a role player, but I got a comment on that. What a wonderful person. He's never complained. He's done his job whenever I asked him. Again, leadoff walk in the 7th, 2 runs. It really helps get that leadoff runner on.
I've also noticed some of your games, he's out there helping to hit infield drills and warming guys up. When Ryan or whoever's catching, he's put the equipment. There's Mitch out warming up the pitcher, so he's done whatever he could for this team.
He's that type of player. I mean, there's people there would be players who would sulk, but he's not that way. He's going to be very successful in life with an attitude like that. What a team player.
And how about David today? He's been struggling a little bit. They walked Corey to get to David. He kind of made him pay for that in a hurry.
Well, I told him that. I said, David, this is what you want. This is where you want to be, so go out and get it. Boom, first pitch, triple. 2 runs in, we're ahead. I was very happy for him. You're right, he had been struggling from time to time, but he's such a good hitter, you're only going to hold him down for so long.
And all your seniors in their last game, they did well. Mike Hansen, a couple of hits for you that were big. Got that double to get to your led to your first run. You mentioned Mitch got the walk. Curtis, his defense. Scott got on base for you today, so they all had a hand in there.
I'm glad, because this is their last hurrah, and they can all say they ended on a successful note, team-wise and individual-wise.
And another plus for your program, you had some young kids. They got some valuable experience here this week.
You betcha. We got a real nice nucleus coming back next year for the high school team and the Legion team. It's going to be a team with a different chemistry again, but we have enough veterans. It'll be fun.
Chad, again, congratulations to you and Coach Carpenter. It's been fun following you guys. Great bunch of kids. I know you've heard it many times, but you got a wonderful bunch of players. They're proud. They do the Hatton community proud.
I tell you what, we are very happy in what we did, but we're only successful as our fans. I'm as successful as my coaches, Mr. Carpenter, but the fans have had and the financial support they give us is just wonderful. I wouldn't trade living any place other than Hatton, North Dakota.
And you had a great crowd here again today. Some more people, I think, had come down that maybe hadn't even been here yet.
Well, I guess we had about 200 people, I would guess. I mean, when you're talking 300 miles, that's really extraordinary.
You guys enjoy it? We're going to do a little swimming tonight and have a little fun now?
You betcha. We're going to go chow down, rest, relax, and bask in glory for a while.
All right. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Dan, for covering us.
You betcha. Chad Amdahl, coach of the state champion Hatton Legion. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up here in 1 minute.